In the world of Kenyan politics, few women command the respect, authority, and resilience that Martha Wangari Karua does. She's fiery, brilliant, and unapologetically bold, a woman who has fought her way through a world dominated by men. But behind the fierce political warrior lies a deeply personal story, one that has remained untold for decades. This is the story of why Martha Karua, the Iron Lady of Kenyan politics, never remarried after her first marriage collapsed in 1985. Welcome to TMN Media, and remember to subscribe. Now, to understand this story, we must first rewind the clock to the early 1980s. Back then, Martha Karua was a young, ambitious lawyer, sharp, determined, and already breaking barriers in the legal field. During her early years working in the judiciary, she met a man who would change the course of her life, an army major and a doctor. Their connection was instant. The relationship blossomed quietly away from the public eye. It wasn't a grand white wedding or a lavish ceremony. It was what she herself later described as calm with stay. Karua, being the independent spirit she was, eventually changed her legal status through an affidavit, becoming Martha Njoka. But just 2 years into their union, the fairy tale began to fade. In 1985, turbulence struck. The marriage that once held promise was falling apart. By this time, Karua had welcomed her daughter in November 1985, and not long after, her son. But as the family grew, so did the cracks in her marriage. She later described that period as a storm within the second year. It was a time of emotional conflict between her duty as a mother and her ambition as a professional. By 1987, her contract at the Attorney General's office was coming to an end. With a modest government salary, 2 small children, and a crumbling marriage, Karua made a bold decision. She walked away. She left not just her husband, but the comfort of employment, and began her own private law practice. It was a decision born out of necessity, survival, and sheer willpower. From that moment, Martha Karua became both mother and father to her children. She raised them single-handedly while building one of the most successful legal and political careers in Kenya's history. But while her career flourished, her love life quietly faded into the background. Now, by the early 1990s, Karua had already entered the political arena, first as a crusader for human rights, then as an MP for Gishugu constituency. And while the world saw a fierce reformist taking on the system, privately, she was a woman who had chosen solitude over chaos. She once hinted that balancing motherhood, law, and politics left her no time for romance. But that doesn't mean she never tried again. At one point, Karua reportedly dated a prominent judge, Justice J.M. Kariuki. The relationship, however, was short-lived. It ended in what insiders describe as a messy split. The reasons behind the fallout were never made public, but those close to her say it left a lasting mark. Since then, Karua made a quiet but firm decision to keep her heart guarded and her focus undivided. And perhaps in that solitude, she found her greatest strength. Martha Karua became a symbol of female resilience, the woman who could not be broken no matter the odds. While many of her peers built families behind the scene, Karua built a legacy, one brick, one battle at a time. Her dedication to justice, equality, and integrity became her lifelong companion. When she rose to become the Minister of Justice, Karua's fiery personality and no-nonsense approach earned her both admiration and criticism. She was nicknamed the Iron Lady, a title that captured her toughness, her discipline, and perhaps the cost of the choices she made long ago. She was not the kind of woman to bow to societal expectation. While the world expected her to remarry, she chose instead to rewrite her own story, one where her worth was not defined by a man beside her, but by the mission before her. Today, her 2 children are grown, successful in their own right, and she remains proud of the life she built without her husband. Her story is not one of bitterness, but of strength, of a woman who dared to live a life on her own terms. In interviews, Karua has often hinted that love and marriage were never her priority. After 1985, what mattered the most was the stability of her children and service to her country, and for that she paid the price: loneliness at times, public scrutiny, and the whispers that came with being an unmarried woman in politics. But perhaps that's what makes Martha Karua's journey so extraordinary. She didn't seek validation through romance. She sought fulfillment through purpose. She didn't chase after compassion. She chased justice, equality, and truth. For nearly 4 decades, she walked this path alone, but never lonely in spirit. Even today, at the height of her political influence, Martha Karua stands as a rare figure, a woman who defied tradition, survived heartbreak, and emerged as one of Kenya's most respected leaders. When asked why she never remarried, her silence says more than words ever could. It's not that she couldn't, it's that she chose not to, because for Martha Karua, love didn't end in a wedding. It began with self-respect. From a young lawyer in Nairobi to Kenya's first female presidential running mate, Martha Karua's journey is proof that strength sometimes comes with standing alone. And while the world may still wonder why she never remarried, one truth remains undeniable: she married her destiny, her conviction, and her fight for justice. That perhaps is the greatest love story of all. Guys, if you like this video, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment down below. Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you get every new video once I upload it.